Hey, so I'm guessing that you've previously watched my intro video about who I am and what I plan to do over the next few weeks. So my first video now, my second video. So my second video now is going to talk about what was going on just before I left for South America. So September 2018, I ended up going to South America to discover ayahuasca. And the reasons why are pretty deep and heavy. Basically, my whole life I've never done drugs. I only ever smoked weed a couple of times, but never experienced anything like what that would feel like or what that meant, until a friend of mine told me about ayahuasca and kind of opened my eyes up to this plant medicine from the Amazon, in which it would allow you to regress your past memories and reasons in which you struggle with day-to-day tasks or in life, or anxiety or depression and things like that. And myself, I was suffering from depression, so bad so that I couldn't get out of bed. I had no will to live. I literally thought that my life was over. And I didn't want to go on. And you know, you've got people telling you they love you, you've got everybody around, and they're all saying, you know, you can call me, and to be honest, as nice as that is and as helpful as that can be for some people, it really didn't work for me, because I'm completely fine and normal when I'm around people, but as soon as I'm left on my own, within 5 minutes I can start to spiral back into a really bad space. I was working as a barber full-time, and I ended up working just 2 days a week, just enough to cover my bills and to be able to get through. And I was really struggling with life and how anybody could work Monday to Friday or Tuesday to Sunday or whatever, and still be able to have a life and enjoy their life. I felt very oppressed, I felt very restricted. So I was sat at work and there was no clients in work, and I was questioning what I'm doing with my life. So I decided to have a look at flights to South America, and I found the cheapest route to get there was going to Chile, and then from Chile I would travel all the way up to Peru, which is where Iquitos is, the Amazon, on the Peruvian side, where I could finally sample ayahuasca. So, lo and behold, I booked these flights to Santiago, Chile, while I was at work, and my boss was stood in front of me, and I did it on a whim. I think I had maybe $4,000 in my account, maybe a little bit more than that, but not much. But because of my mental state and because where I felt I was, it was either this or die. So $4,000, $5,000 or death. Weigh it up. So I booked these flights and I looked up and I was like, hey man, I just booked flights to South America for 3 months. I leave in 2 weeks. So I guess this is my notice. I won't be working here anymore. And I lived above the shop as well. He was surprised, but not that surprised, because he knew what I was going through and a little bit about me. So that was that. I did 4 more days at work, and then I was off. So I bought a bag, I jumped online, I bought everything that I thought I might need for this trip. I overpacked way too much. As a beginner backpacker, you do not need this much stuff, but you know, whatever. And off I went. I jumped on a plane to Santiago. I had my first 2 nights accommodation booked in a hostel where I was paying, I think, $3 a night, $4 a night. And I had no idea of how to get there from the airport. And it was a 15-hour flight, and I knew I had to get a local bus when I got there. And that was it. I started my journey. I ended up in Santiago, obviously, and I figured it out. I got on a bus, I got to my hostel, I got there relieved, and then I walked into the hostel, walked up to my room, and it was like a room, obviously, of like maybe I think eight or 10 beds, and I remember thinking, what have I done? I freaked out because I had to share a room. I had been living by myself for the past 6 months. And now I have 10 beds in this room that could all be filled up at any moment. Luckily, they didn't get filled up. I managed to keep maybe 2 people max in the bedroom. Not in my bed, because that would be weird. I'm not sure how in depth I should go with my trip as a whole.